Hi, I'm Neil from Wild Elements, and I'm working in collaboration with the National Botanic Gardens of Wales to introduce you to permaculture. Permaculture is a design system that was initially developed to create sustainable agricultural systems. However, this design tool is now utilised worldwide to design homes, financial systems, businesses, social groups and education. The National Botanical Gardens have been supporting a project called Growing the Future, a 5-year project to champion Welsh horticulture, plants for pollinators, the protection of wildlife and the virtues of growing plants for food, fun, health and well-being. Here at Wild Elements, we thought it would be an excellent opportunity to combine our knowledge of permaculture and link it with growing plants for the future. In our last video, we talked about the 3 ethics that permaculture is based upon. These are earth care, people care and fair share. We looked at how by creating even a small space for growing plants can help us to learn how to think in a more sustainable way and how to include children in this learning journey. In our last video, we talked about the 12 principles that help us to think when we are designing a sustainable system. We also looked at a very simple, practical using a glass jar to sample the soil that we plan to use to grow plants. In this video, we're going to look at design. A European funded project has developed a curriculum for children in permaculture. This project has identified that children have limited opportunity to design despite being boundlessly creative within mainstream curriculum. Design is at the heart of permaculture and is therefore an excellent tool to encourage people of all ages to design. Within this series of videos, we were looking at the design of spaces to grow plants for food or fun, but permaculture design is not limited to this. The CIP curriculum divides design into 7 areas that can be drawn upon to help children think about designing in a sustainable way. So creative expression. Let the children's imagination run wild. Sing, dance, paint. Allow children the freedom to design their own play space or garden design. You can celebrate their creations and allow the children to see others appreciate their creations. Making choices. When designing a growing space, it's a good opportunity for the children to smell, taste, touch the plants before choosing which ones they would like to grow. The children can have the freedom to place the plants and their own additions, such as bee houses, through play. Children may have to accept that the first preference wasn't the correct one for everyone. In addition to this, the vocabulary of the children will increase as they incorporate their new decision-making skills into play. Surveying the landscape and people. Children love to be outdoors in all weathers. By providing them the opportunity to be outside in all weathers, they experience microclimates. They seek the sheltered spots, spots that collect water, noisy spots and quiet ones. The children will also notice the emotions that arise within themselves and others when they move from one space to another. Mapping areas is a great skill to develop here. By mapping out the area to be planted, children can design according to these microclimates. Using questionnaires can assist the children in gathering additional ideas to their own in a more formal way. During the survey, children can learn tools for resource listing. For example, using PASTE, plants, animals, structures, tools and events, as a prompt to survey the landscape. Analysing what you found out. Once all of the information has been gathered, now what? The information has to be gathered in a useful way. Mind maps are an excellent way to collate data. Words, images, colours can all be used to convey ideas and support retention of information. Another important factor is to record how the children felt throughout the different stages of the design process. Excitement, frustration, anger, curiosity are all common emotions that can be talked about in an open and honest way. Designing and deciding. This is that part of designing where the ideas begin to change from an abstract concept to something more tangible. Time needs to be devoted to this part of the design process. Models can be demonstrated, zones can be discussed, and permaculture design process can be utilised. If conflict arises, focus on getting different perspectives and reflecting back on the 3 permaculture ethics: earth care, people care and fair share. Implementation and making it happen. One of the most important motivating factors is for the children to be able to see a completed project. This can help to encourage them when things get tough. The children should also be encouraged to make the arrangements for the whole of the project: the sourcing and purchasing of plants, the organisation of the opening celebrations, publicising their achievements. Regular meetings with the colourful implementation plans to monitor progress are another important element. This is where many hands can make light work. Maintenance. Looking after your creation. When we were looking at the principles of permaculture in the last video, we considered the concept that we are designing for 7 generations in the future. This means that maintenance is an integral part of design, and unfortunately not one that is thought about in a great deal in our throwaway culture. Encouraging children to observe what others are doing to maintain their systems is a great way of doing this. Asking simple questions like, do they look happy when completing the maintenance, can be a real eye-opener. Designing an element of fun to maintenance tasks can help to encourage children to complete the task, checking that the garden tools are in an easily accessible place for them, and encouraging the children to sell their harvest can assist in the design process. All of the design areas suggested by the CIP project are written specifically for children. However, this design process is equally accessible for people of all ages. By following the CIP curriculum, adults are encouraged to think creatively, make considered choices, survey their environment and those that surround them. The analysis of information in a more meaningful way is encouraged, and reflection on the permaculture ethics forms the underlying foundation of all decisions. In our next short video, we'll be looking at our journey through the permaculture landscape and onto growing food the permaculture way. So we look forward to seeing you then.